When I was a kid growing up in the suburbs of Pasadena, Texas, we used to do something crazy. We used to play outside a lot, especially in the summer. And the best time was in the late evening. And we never wore watches or anything. I didn't even own a watch, but I would be out there playing with everybody else, all the other kids, me and my brother Dennis Ray. We'd be out there and we'd know exactly when it was 10 o'clock. In the summer, we got to play up till 10 o'clock outside, stay outside. We knew when it was 10 because moms all over the neighborhood would start yelling for their kids. And from 5 houses down, you could hear Elsie Hayter yelling, "Dennis Ray, Mark!" And she never said come home because we knew. She yelled our names, it's time to come home. Mothers had different yells. I loved Wanda and Margie's mom's yell. She would yell, "Wanda Margie!" She would sing it and it was uplifting. Mom didn't uplift. What does that have to do with anything, you ask? Well, it has to do with something I was reading today in John, the book of John, John 10. And it was Jesus Christ talking to the Pharisees and figuratively to them, equating himself as a shepherd and me as one of his sheep. He doesn't use the word Mark, but I see it in here. And he's saying in John 10, let's start here in verse 2, he says, "But he who enters the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the doorkeeper opens, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out." And what this does for me is I think of Mom calling me and Dennis to go home. I think of Jesus Christ calling me. He doesn't yell though, it's a kind of a whisper. He's calling me away from stuff that I need to get away from. And in my case, many times it's self-pity, it's gloom, it's anger at times. Just, Mark, get away from this pride and come home to me. I am your Savior, your brother, your friend, and I am calling you home. And the thought of Christ loving me enough to do all he did for me and then to call me away from myself and the drudgeries that sometimes in life capture me in the gloom, like I mentioned. The thought of him whispering my name and knowing my name and loving me enough to call me away from that I think will help me so much to get away from a focus on me and focus on Jesus Christ and what all he's done for me and what all he's doing right now, preparing a place for me in heaven. That will help me a lot. Maybe it'll help you some. I hope so. And I hope to see you next time. Later.